Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was just kind of one of the things that players talk about. They regularly say, oh, this character's great, and then you never really see it break into competitive play. But here, we've seen an insane amount of Crixie over the past few days.
Yeah, and here we go. The bans looking like they're starting to come out here. Singapore had the first choice for the ban, and it looks like it's going to be the Grak, your boy.
I'm very sad. I feel defeated internally. But the fact that they ban out the Grak versus a player like Moss is exactly what you should be doing, and that gives me hope. Singapore have done their research.
Yes, sir. I mean, Moss's Grak did so much work in the boot camp, and Thailand returning with the Superman ban.
I like this as well.
Yeah, Singapore answering back with the Scud ban.
Scud is also a target ban. Remix kind of premiered Scud in competitive play, at least at the Thailand boot camp. We didn't really see Scud outside of Thailand and outside of the time meta up till that point. So, to me, I'm excited again because Singapore know what to do. They've done their homework.
They exactly took the words out of my mouth. They have done their homework.
Is that painful?
It was a little bit painful, but I put it back together. Don't you worry about it. Aram also getting banned on the Singapore side and Omen over on Thailand side.
Omen just a solid... It's very interesting. Thailand are just banning standard. They don't know what to expect from this Singapore team, so they're getting rid of Superman, getting rid of Omen, Arms out of the pool. I'd expect, Zenial to come through as the third ban. These are everything, or this is everything that you just want to get rid of if you don't quite know what to face. It's a very good baseline.
Yeah, and Singapore, as we mentioned, every single one of their bans there are target bans specifically for Thailand. They have definitely done their homework here, and now they're taking away the Lindis from Thailand as well.
Thailand really, really like to run the Lindis in their jungle, so Singapore getting it is great.
Right, and look at this. Thailand, maybe... Are they really thinking about
I would be so upset with So, Arthur is not good. Many people...
Oh my god.
Zuka is not considered great. He's certainly playable. But I wouldn't put him on the list as characters that we regularly see in the meta. I think Thailand might be having a little bit too much fun.
This sounds like Thailand, though. I mean, time and time again, we've seen this team come out here, and their picks have just been all over the place. Like, you know what? I don't think we need to play our mains today. It's just the World Cup.
It's just the group stage of the World Cup for $200,000. Let's play Zuka.
Right? I mean, but I heard he did get a buff.
That's an Arthur! It's locked in!
It's locked in Arthur and Zuka for Thailand. Totally what we expected to see here.
I'm going to walk you through why Arthur's great. His ultimate is a very impactful ultimate. It's literally called Deep Impact. And what it does is he takes a sword that's bigger than most people and jumps about 20 feet straight up and brings it down right in the middle of a team fight. And I can't wait to see it in competitive
Isn't that what Zuka does too, except not with the sword?
Yeah, he has a little stick.
Yeah, he's got a little stick, not a 20-foot sword.
Hey, both would hurt.
Wow, look at the picks coming out of Singapore. So they got the Linus, they also got the Malik and the Teamy.
Thailand are like, hang on, they're actually drafting well. Maybe we should take this a bit more seriously.
Can we grab me that Crixie, please?
Can we? You can see all of a sudden they're much more focused. There were smiles on their faces right until that's a great 3. Singapore, I'm sure, can't believe they were given that. That's one of the best junglers, one of the best frontliners, and definitely the best tank in the game.
Yeah, I mean, and now, what do they think about it? Necroth?
Necroth is certainly viable. You can go ahead, you can push through the jungle, and I'd expect that to be a high mobility poke character from the jungle. My question is, how does that play with the Zuka? I assume that's a lane Zuka?
Probably.
I guess
you've got to execute.
So you run Arthur, Zuka split, Crixie in mid, Necroth in jungle. They're just missing, I guess, a tank to roam. I guess you could do that with the Arthur.
Yeah, the Arthur sounds like that would fit the bill just nicely.
Opposing them, Singapore still sticking to the meta, still picking smart characters. I really like them coming through, threatening. This Diochan would be out of meta.
Yeah, it would. Oh man, speaking out of meta.
Illumia. We saw an Illumia at the Valor Series Finals. An ill-fated Immortals roster did run it, and it didn't go well for them.
Why you gotta bring that up, man? He's right over there.
I was looking directly at Silly, but I said it.
We can have some more Maganga.
Yes, Maganga comes through, Irie as well. If those are locked in, that's closer to the meta. Singapore, I was so proud of everything you were doing. It looked so good. And then your mages are just interesting. The Flash, if that's the lock-in, Flash is one of the more powerful mages and certainly would be more standard than anything else they've shown.
Oh yeah, but they are gonna lock in the Ahri.
Irie, very, very good in the jungle. We've seen quite a few of the Irie players play Irie recently, I think mostly because of her capacity to jump into the middle of a clump, find stuns and big damage with her ultimate Ryu.
Exactly, and It looks like we've got the rosters locked in now between Singapore and Thailand. How do you feel about these compositions?
Thailand are running an Arthur. Singapore have everything you want. Singapore have a great composition. I would say they have this game in the bag if we knew anything about how they played.
Right.
Thailand, I don't quite want to call out they're running an Arthur and therefore it's going to be terrible because they have pulled out weird things before and changed the meta. So maybe they're just visionaries.
If anyone is going to pull out something and make it work, it's going to be Thailand.
I would hope so. I don't know. There's the coaches shaking hands. Coach, can you explain to me how Zuka Arthur works?
You don't know about the Zuka Arthur meta? It's brand new. We just made it up last night. It's going to work out great.
They were sitting at home rolling some dice, and they were like, 20, check the sheet. Arthur? Okay. We'll play that tomorrow. There's the draft. A final look over it. If you're curious about what's out of meta, what's considered not traditional, it would be that Arthur and Zuka. Basically, everything else is some variation on standard play within the tournament so far.
Yeah, definitely what we've expected to see. The team we pick out of Singapore is pretty interesting. Along with the Malik and the Linus, they can do a lot of work here, especially with that flash. Irie, probably the one that's a little bit questionable down there, maybe, for Singapore?
Yeah, Irie's one of the characters that's on the fringe. It's not the bog standard jungle. Typically, you see a marksman like Violet run in the jungle on the more successful teams. But if you want to run an Irie, teams have done it and won. There's certainly no shame in it.
Well, it sounds like we're ready to get into game number 1 here of day 2. It's going to be Singapore versus the #1 seed of Thailand.
This is going to be a very fun match indeed. Where is this Arthur playing?
Where he's waiting over there for the invade. He wants them to come over to that red or the blue buff.
Green buff, I like it.
The green.
He's going to back up though. He's playing this very safe. Already caught out, and Singapore have a successful invade.
Yeah, Singapore, that teamy. He's got some pooty poots there. Gets the stun off. Sends the Arthur packing. Arthur back to the bot lane.
And Thailand actually haven't managed a successful invade to counter. They get a buff and nothing more.
Yeah, and here we go to start things off. It's going to be a pretty slow start. And up top, though, it looks like there was a little gank attempt there. Not going to work out, though. El Espresso going to make it out.
Normally, you see the Irie run in jungle, but of course that's very difficult if you're running with Zays already, so running them in the top lane makes sense. That Arthur has rotated down and is now living in the bot lane versus Dusk for that lane matchup. A lot of my questions have been answered.
Espresso gonna go down. That's first blood for Moss with the Zuka, of course.
My other question was, how good is the Zuka? And I guess there's an answer. That Zuka coming out of the jungle and already demonstrating the power of his bamboo stick.
That Panda Chariot gets the knock-up. And man, a rough start already for Singapore, but expect this out of Thailand, right? And of course, it's minute 30, another 30 seconds, you can guarantee that Thailand's going to rotate down to get that Abyssal Dragon.
And I should hope so. They're a very objective-focused team. If Singapore managed to take this away from them, that would be a big part of their victory.
Yeah, and let's take a quick look at this first blood replay, because I'm sure that Dragon's going to be coming up in a second. And look at that, just to pop him, there you go, Moss closing it out right on the tower.
I believe he popped the execute to get that as well, just using the talent.
Smart stuff. And now, 5 seconds to go, and it looks like Singapore is actually better positioned for this Dragon right now.
Yeah, I really like this because they have great position for it. Like you say, there's no good way for Thailand to break into the pen, and they're going to start it.
Yeah, exactly, they are. And Thailand, they're positioning to come and try to maybe contest here. James goes in, and Zay's going to close it out there and to get the first one.
He's down. That's instantly the Nacroft Slade. There's the shock as well. Cherry barely manages to get out. He spends the flicker. Perfect timing, and he'll survive. But that might be a little bit too much because that's a big gold lead. Worked back in favor of Singapore. They were at a major deficit just due to farming.
Yeah, we were starting to question them because of that first top death up there. And now quickly back in the mid lane, Marks is going to have to back out there, get his health as well. And the goal lead, as you mentioned, now in favor of Singapore because of that Abyssal Dragon.
Top lane, wave was just cut. That Lubu working away to make sure that the minions aren't constantly flowing, and that's going to slow down Singapore's tower pressure, especially here in the top lane, but across the entire map as they have to make up for it.
Yeah, and Thailand is obviously so good at the wave pressure. They're always the ones who's pushing all the towers down. It's something you're going to notice as this game progresses.
You can see still Moss waiting. I didn't realize it was Moss on the Zuka. That actually makes me all the more happy. Sure, right? You take away the crack. He's here. He's a panda. And he's very upset about it.
And right now, it looks like they're just going to be rotating back to mid. They might even go 4-man mid here.
Dusk versus... Why is there an Arthur in competitive play?
Of course. Isn't that pretty regular for you?
No! But it's not going bad so far. He hasn't had a major impact on the game, and I think he is outmatched versus this Malik. I think Malik's just better at the roll. There's our first Arthur ult of the game.
Yeah, that first deep impact. Not much damage, though. And look at Tainted coming in after with that Mach Punch. Not enough damage to close out Moss, though.
There's a reason they call it super speed. He went in there, he said hello, gave them a business card, and was out in a flash.
No problem. In and out, fastest man alive.
Apart from, it seems like every season there's somebody faster.
It always does seem that way. I love that show, by the way.
I guess there wouldn't be much of a show if you actually was the fastest man alive.
It's like, what do you mean? Someone is faster than me? Dang it.
Track it up in 6 seconds. Not terribly fast, but it'll be up. And when it is, Singapore again want to secure control. Thailand are properly challenging this time, though.
Oh, yeah, definitely
Cyclone? That's huge.
Goodness. Yeah, huge Cyclone.
Shock
Sherry
as
in trouble.
well.
Moss might be in trouble here as well.
That is massive!
Oh
Singapore
my goodness.
should be winning this fight. They even have the resurrection, so B-Marks can't just burn through. He'll get one in trade, but that is not enough.
No, not at all. 5-2 kill lead now for Singapore over Thailand.
And in the top lane the whole time, Singapore are just stealing buffs, gaining pressure, gaining that gold lead. That's what we said. Pressure the jungle. Make sure they're not able to get out ahead.
Now let's take a look one more time at what just went down in that bot lane.
There's the shot coming through. You can see it's big knock-up for Singapore, and they instantly do big damage. Moss is able to find one in trade with his burst from Zuka, but I feel like he doesn't really have the mobility to get out.
Right, exactly. And right now we're back into it. And look at the lead, the goal lead now for Singapore. Almost at 2K. They're going for this other Sentinel, man.
I think that was stolen. I've just witnessed a robbery. Somebody call the police. The Abyssal Dragon will be stolen in the night as well.
Yeah, not a bad pull there for Thailand. Trying to even out that goal differential.
This is good.
But look at the towers up and top. Singapore pushing ahead.
I like this from Singapore. Yes, you don't get the Abyssal, but you're aware of how many members it takes to get an Abyssal, so in the meantime, you can take the second tower in the top lane.
And look at this, they're rotating back down to mid now, as Arthur's still keeping his pressure down on Dusk.
Oh, that's a lot of pressure!
Marks!
You can apply that directly to a wound, it would stop the bleeding instantly! That was so much pressure!
Oh man, the siege weapon's of course out already. So Singapore is looking surprisingly good. We'd mentioned how they would be the X factor coming into this one, and it's really looking to be that way. Thailand seeming like they're caught off guard a little bit.
Yeah, Thailand maybe a bit overconfident, pulling at Moss, waving his giant. I didn't realize that was a skin with a giant toothbrush.
What else would you want with a panda? Is it a panda that keeps the teeth clean?
Apparently, Cyclone in mid. Jamie just needs to back off after Tainted One's Cyclone knocks him down to half HP. Singapore's map control is really impressing me.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. And you can see up there, you got the Ahri still defending, and now there's rotating down to the bot lane. Maybe they want to try to push over that bot tower. Maybe they just want to invade that jungle. Singapore has been doing a good job of invading that jungle. It's one of the things we pointed out earlier that they might need to do if they want to stand a chance against Thailand here. But finally, Thailand taking out that top tower.
Look at how they're pushing instantly on the bot. This is good from Singapore. Yes, you don't have the power top lane, but if you can find a pick bot, it's all even.
Oh,
I don't know, though.
It's there too, and that Arthur is going to be dead.
His ult's deep impact. That was a very deep dive in answer. We were talking earlier about pressure. They're going to have to be careful they depressurize as they go back up.
Yeah, they're going to have to depressurize. You know, you don't want to get the bends. I think that's what it's called.
Yes, when you go up too quick while you're scuba diving.
And look at this. It looks like actually Thailand going to be trying to closing in to meet them down in that bot lane.
They are scuba diving. That's very far forward from Singapore. They're going to go for another tower.
Oh, Bazooka's right behind him. Gets in there.
It's a lot of pressure from Moss. He's already down so low. This is a big moonfall. Resurrection is there. He's going to be back.
Yo, Singapore
right
saving
there.
the day. Oh,
that
and
was
Arthur.
Massive.
He's trying to close him out there. Trapper there, slow him down as well, though. Dusk keeping that Arthur away. Well done for Singapore.
I cannot believe what I'm seeing right now.
And now the Abyssal Dragon too?
Yeah, 7-2 and a goal lead to Singapore as they are controlling this game.
4K goal lead for Singapore at the 740 mark. This is insane. Oh my goodness, they got to get out of there. Flash putting in some work on Crixie in the back. El Espresso going to fall to remix though.
This is not really a great engage from the Flash. You need to stay safe, Singapore. I know this has been going great, but this is where Thailand start to maybe realize they need to take this match seriously. And when they do, you're going to kind of meet the next level of focus, I think.
Yeah, and Thailand definitely taking out that blue buff from Singapore's side.
I like the pressure. This is going to be the Dark Slayer up at this point, and that means both teams, especially with as many towers down as there are, need to start worrying about the control of that area.
Yeah, and you know, Singapore is doing such a great job with the wave control here, just to make sure that Thailand's not being able to push them.
Scary for Moss. You can see 8-1-3 came through. There's a dive again from the Flash.
Yeah,
This is very aggressive.
I really like the Flash pick against Crixie, actually.
Uh-huh.
Looks like an effective way of just countering her, actually.
Crixie is a glass cannon, and if you can get in there with a Mach Punch or a rock and just smash that glass cannon, it's so effective.
Yeah, she doesn't have really good escape tools either.
No, the most she has is the speed boost on Moonfall. And that's frankly just not enough.
No, not at all.
Espresso does find the Ryu ultimate spin combo. That's damage and then a back
Oh,
off.
boy.
Oh, Remix.
Ooh,
he
he
sees
sees
everything.
Oh, he gets him with the impale. He's going in 3-on-1, though. He's got the conquer ready to go. Jamco coming in from behind.
This could be dangerous. Zaze is down and the resurrection was already baited. He won't be back. Dusk is the only one alive, and I don't see him living.
No
Cyclone!
way.
Marsh is
Oh,
gone!
my God.
I don't think that's enough, though. Still a bad trade in the fight. 2 for 3, but not nearly as bad as it could have been for Singapore.
Yeah, definitely not. 2 for 3. Not the end of the world, considering how that fight was looking for a second. And now El Espresso battling it out with Arthur in the jungle.
Yeah, you can see he always initiates those fights with the Ryu ultimate, just knowing that he can find a stun and then back off, run away using Shadow, but first and foremost, stop the enemy from targeting you.
Wow, Flash almost there with that super speed just in time, but no, the blue buff going to go to Jamco with the Nacroth.
Let's take a look, at that Darkslayer replay, because it was really cool to watch. You can see the pressure coming through here from Singapore. They should have a 3v1, but Lubu pops his Conqueror, and that gives him basically infinite lifesteal for its duration, and the fight goes badly wrong there.
Yeah, speaking of going badly wrong, not looking good for Arthur right now. El Espresso chunking him down, and Arthur going to fall.
I think Moss could have done that with low HP on Espresso.
I think he could have.
That's dangerous. Me marks, also an obvious focus.
Yeah, Dusk looking for that cleave there. And now maybe the Abyssal Dragon for Singapore again. Looks like this should be free for them.
Darkslayer.
Oh yeah, Darkslayer up top. This is going to be a good trade for Thailand.
If it's not challenged, this may very well be a major pickup, a game-ending pickup for Thailand, depending on what they get with it.
Well, they definitely got in there. They're so effective at pushing that lane and taking more towers once they have that buff. So gold right now in favor currently for Singapore by a couple thousand, but not enough to matter.
Oh, Dusk. Poor Dusk. Oh, he's got the backup. Zaze is there.
Oh my God.
Moss,
Zaze
stepped
indeed.
into a firing range.
That was ridiculous damage. Man, the Zuka pick, I gotta say, not really working out for Moss.
I really love how they're able to do that, and they're looking for the same combo again, shutting down the members with the Slayer buff. Zaze may be in trouble
Oh,
though.
Zaze in big trouble. Lubu gonna take him out there.
Resurrection.
Remix. Oh, Teamy just in time, being a bro. Look at that. And they get him.
4 people, but they still do it.
And they didn't lose any, thanks to the Teamy Resurrection, right? Being a bro.
Very well played, almost like a big brother. Very well done. That's the kind of brotherly love I look for from a successful team.
Well, right now, Thailand rotating on down to the bot lane. They still have that Slayer buff. And finally taking out one of the towers in the bot lane, trying to make it 2.
Thailand, yes, we can get caught up in the unexpected gold lead and kill lead to Singapore, but don't forget they're still winning on map pressure and they still have the Slayer buff.
Yeah, and that's 5 towers now for Thailand. And so many games we've seen, especially with NA, where NA had the goal lead, they had the kill lead, but Thailand just running through the towers now. 6-3. Look at the map control because of it.
That Cyclone, the final tic-tacking cherry. Map control, all very well and good, but it may still... Oh, the deep impact! He's right in and instantly finds a kill. Singapore need to get out of here.
Yeah, Mark's Paul the Moonfall, but is way too far away. And the Mach Punch again coming out with that super speed, chunking them all down. Thailand having to retreat here.
Very well done to stay alive considering the situation, but they are down a member, and indeed a very important member on the Irie. They look to the Irie for a lot of initiations.
Right, but the Flash right now is being a pretty good initiate himself. Although the high ground tower in the middle is getting chunked as well. Teamy going to try to push him off, clearing the wave. Very well done. And look at the damage he just ate, though. That T-pick that almost got him.
This may sound redundant, but that Flash is so fast. He just went all the way to the middle of the map, took a fight, and then went home.
Luckily, he was close to home. He'd be able to heal up quickly and get back into it.
And he is. You can see the ultimates up across the board there. And that's a really interesting fact for Singapore. They have pretty good CC combos with those ultimates. I really like seeing the Cyclone into the Irie stun into the shock.
Yeah, it's a fantastic combo. And right now, what they've got to do is push these waves out. Look, the waves are pushed like 75% to the way to their high ground towers. They got to clear that out because Thailand is so strong once they have all those waves pushed up on them.
We talked earlier about the gold lead being in favor of Singapore. That's now shifting. Thailand definitely back in the gold game and 100% controlling the map game.
Oh, and here we go. Looks like another team fight breaking
That's
out.
a big
There's the
bait.
shock down there on the marks. They want to get that Crixie out of there first, but they're going to lose their Tainted, their Flash in the process.
That's okay. There's the res. They're going to have another one back, and Cherry's
Oh my
already needing to
goodness.
run for his life again. Singapore win the fight. I don't know if this is...
Cherry
Oh, the
TV.
shielding! He doesn't have it! He tried to stay alive because the shielding was given to him. Zaze will find the trade, and Remix in the meantime, it's just working away at the
Wait
base.
a second. Can he get the core by himself? No, he's got to try and focus him
surely
out.
not. Oh, that's far too many kills, though. That should have
Yeah.
been a major team fight victory for Singapore. But because he dives into the backline and 813 goes down as well on the teamie, they don't have enough players to make anything happen with this team fight victory.
Yeah, but still 4 kills to 3 there for Singapore that time. But that high ground tower going down, some damage to their core in the process.
At this point, we've reached the point of the game where gold starts to matter a lot less. Basically, everyone is approaching or already at that 15-minute level mark, so all that matters is control.
Right, and let's take a look at that last fight really quick while we got some time before these guys get back into it.
Look at this as Cherry goes very far forward. He's trying to protect the push as they go forward and focus out me marks, but they instantly burn him down, and a huge part of that for me is the Malik of Dusk, who is the absolute MVP for me.
Right, here's the Cyclone on marks again. Gonna pull him in half
Bye.
life. See ya, indeed.
He's out of there. The instant he spends the Cyclone, he knows he interrupts the push, and we were talking earlier, you brought up a really good point. The Flash is the perfect Crixie counter.
And right now, it looks like Arthur going in on Airy, but oh my gosh, looks like Teamy's right there behind.
Yeah, and this team, he's been perfect as well. We really questioned the banning phase, letting that teamie get through because they were so busy first picking Arthur. And now they're paying for it because every single fight, there's been a massive resurrection.
And both teams now, looks like they're positioning for this Dragon, both in the bottom half. Lubu still, of course, pushing that split lane up top.
I worry about the split lane a ton because that Lubu is more than willing to go for the back door. We've seen it once already.
Yeah, but Bissell Dragon looks like it's going to go down very quick here in favor of Singapore. They got to get back in time to defend. Airy is there to take on the Lubu in the split lane. And Arthur trying to engage here 3-on-1. I mean, he's pretty tanky.
King Arthur stands back. I don't know if that's King Arthur. I think it's just
regular
a guy called Arthur.
Yeah, he's armored Arthur. He's
Not a
just another
mouse,
one of them from back
presumably.
then.
Not a mouse, I
No.
hope. There's
Let's
the
hope
pressure on Remix from Espresso. He's got me marks nearby. Tainted Ones joins as well. All of Singapore is here.
Yeah, but he got chunked pretty low there. El Espresso gonna have to back out, get his health back, and they're gonna have to regroup here. Lane pressure coming in on the bot lane, coming down the mid and the top as well. Thailand's so good at keeping his wave pressure on.
And that's what they're known for. That's why Thailand is the favored team, because of their experience in map control.
Oh boy, look at him
Remix.
sandwiching in here now around him. Oh my god, Remix just disappears though. Where did he go?
That was a hot fire mixtape. You can't remix that. It's already
is no
perfect.
remix.
Terry may be in trouble as well. He's going to be pitted as Tainted Ones pushes forward.
Yeah, let's see if they can try to single out Mamarks here. He goes for the Moonfall, too far away, though, not going to find anyone with it. But meanwhile, in the bottom lane, you've got Moss trying to clear up the lane, but good job by Tainted to clean it out.
Yeah, Tainted playing very good backline
Shock
defense.
is going to hit.
While the
Oh,
push
boy.
comes through, that's 2 kills instantly to Singapore. The question is, can you do anything with it? We've seen so many good fights from Singapore and so little conversion.
Going to try to convert into Slayer right now. They've got 3 down on the Thailand side. It sounds like a good idea right now. But Zuka from Moss going to keep pushing that bot lane. They're going to have to recall
I don't know
after
about
this.
Slayer pickup. Moss knows he's in the right because of that Slayer
Oh
pickup.
my god, look at the damage. He's chunking on this high ground tower. Flash in there, but it's too
gone.
late. But he should be able to take out Moss here. Uh-huh.
You can't outrun the Flash, and I suppose
sir.
that's good. But where do you go from here if you're Singapore? You need a high ground in response. That's why they're trying to escort them this minion wave through top. That is the only lane where they have the high ground exposed.
I like the idea here. I mean, but how long before the respawn? They got 35 seconds for Moss, 3 seconds on Cherry.
Shock.
And here comes the shock, yep.
Nice
But they should
engage.
be able to get this high ground tower pretty easily here. Can they even push further? It's going to be 4-4, no Flash with them.
Remix.
Remix is low, he's down as well.
Cherry dives Zaze. That's a very important pick.
Teamie's
T-Box as
low.
well with the Moonfall tearing up this fight, but they're holding on. Singapore,
Flash is
they
back too.
managed to stay alive. I don't know how, but they've won that fight.
Oh my gosh, and just enough life left on to get out of there. But man, the pressure, scary moment there for Thailand. Cherry down for 40 seconds. Respawn timer's getting incredibly long at this point. And now they've got to go back to the base, push out the waves so they can have more pressure themselves.
I'm a little bit disappointed in Singapore that they weren't able to get another tower with that push. I would have liked them to pressure mid or bottom lane with
I agree.
it. However, they did just have to fall back and reset, given the low HP on some of their teammates.
Yeah, without a doubt, that seemed to be the best case right there for them. And the Flash, you know, he ran all the way from the bot lane, all the way to that top lane for the high ground tower fight up there. He could have probably pushed the lane and got that mid tower on the way, but
you know,
still, they survived.
How many pairs of running shoes do you think it takes if you're the Flash?
I mean, what kind of running shoes are we talking here?
It better be like metal plated. You'd wear
Metal
through
plated?
those treads very fast.
Oh man, look at the wave pressure on the top lane from Moss and Azuka. They're keeping so much pressure on that lane, and now finally Singapore rallying back to the middle, and they're going to be able to probably take down his mid tower with ease. However, they have to watch out. They're going to close it from all angles here.
Moonfall does come through. Dusk is taking that.
Yeah,
That's a
Cyclone
huge
as well.
cyclone. That is massive. Shock comes
Shock
through
too.
as well. It's good zoning, but the pressure is still on. And
now
Singapore
Spencer takes that
are
share.
eating
Oh.
so much AoE.
Yeah, they're eating so much damage, but they're still in this fight. El Espresso, 2 more left on Thailand. Can he get in? No. He's going
That
to
is
back out.
so good. Espresso absolutely carries that fight while everything else is going on. He focuses down Memarks, burns down the back line.
Impressive stuff of Singapore, but they need to convert this. Like you can see right now, Necroth, he's still pushing that lane, bot lane.
Boss, if you get stunned up and
Oh,
slain,
boy.
this could be another tower in mid.
They've got to push it.
Singapore,
They've got to go back to their base. Yeah, a couple of them are thinking about recalling here.
you only need to send one. Jamie is relying on the fact that there's going to be those super minions pushing through, so he knows that there has to be a defense team, and he can go back and properly defend.
So here we go. They're keeping the pressure on here. That timer's still so high. 5 seconds on Cherry, though. 5 on Remix, 8 on Mimarks. They're going to be close. Oh, my God.
Oh,
Trapped in the
Espresso!
tower.
That's
Gets him.
huge!
That's an ace, but they're a cup already. Cherry's up, Mimarks back up as well. Oh, the respread was
He has
there too.
Ancestral Glory. Yeah, he can get back. It doesn't actually. He goes down anyway. But the point is,
Yeah.
he managed to get
Oh,
back.
no.
The problem is, Zaze goes down as well. And Thailand now have 2 kills that they badly need. And look at those 40, 50-second almost respawn
This
timers.
is getting crazy. And right now, Singapore has to be so careful because look at Thailand. They're just marching down the middle. They want to end this game before things get any crazier.
30 seconds left on the respawns. This game's gone 20 minutes.
That's insanely long.
For Arena of Valor, and especially for a match from the #1 seeded team against possibly the bottom seeded team.
Yeah, Singa who? Singa where? Never heard of them.
Singapore, and they're here to play. There's the dive. Cherry opens up. Nice deep impact. That's a good engage.
Yeah, Thailand wants to close it out here. Another big cyclone, though, catching a bunch of players in the middle. Cherry might
Nice.
fall here. Dust's gonna fall as well.
Just
No,
get
the
the
heal in the
trade.
last second.
That's huge. Soul Eater as well.
Oh.
And Tainted Ones dives in. Singapore, hold on. There's the chain, lads.
Thailand.
They have more stuns. And Moss is completely split.
Oh, and
He'll
Moss is going
still
down
go down.
And look at it, though. Jameco's still alive. He's been in the top jungle the whole time. He's gonna be their last line of defense here. Singapore, you gotta get back over there.
I want to see that hold again. That was insane. Look at Cherry here. He takes the front line so well, and all of this fight for me is Dusk.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. I mean, look, the cycle was there, the move ball was there, but Dust just surviving.
It was his
Jameco?
lifesteal. It was his lifesteal from his build. When he uses the big cleaver, he actually gets so much lifesteal. This
Can
could
they
be
end it here?
game.
Is Singapore gonna get a game on
This
the
could
#1
be
team?
game. The #1 team, Thailand, goes down to Singapore.
Wow.
1-0 in the group stage.
Unbelievable. The X Factor, Singapore getting up 1-0 in the series against the #1 seed in Thailand. Who would have seen that coming?
I didn't.
You did.
Thailand
You saw
didn't.
that Zuka
They
pick?
look shell-shocked. Thailand
Wow.
are decimated.
Remember all those smiles and giggles we saw before that first game? Where are they now?
Over on Singapore, they're having a great time.
Wow. Unbelievable stuff. Impressive showing from Singapore.
Welcome to the Arena of Valor World Cup. You don't get to take games lightly. You don't get to fool around.